to have pictures. Thank you. So that's how you're going to prove that we're doing all these things, right?
Down to one last, and this time, the reason why we're here tonight is to celebrate the successes and the trials and tribulations and the wonderful achievements of a very special person. So I now ask Judy to come up and say a few words.
I know that most of you would never think that I would be without something to say. But when I heard I would have to say something, I was stumped. And I was talking to one of my friends and I said, the only thing I had written down was thank you. To which she responded that my second sentence could be, all of you for coming. The last time I stood in front of this group of people was to say goodbye to Irma and Rita. And at this time it's much more difficult. How do you put into words what the company and the people in it have meant to me over the 30 years that I've worked with them? Some might wonder why anyone would want to spend that many years with the same company. But I can tell you that knowing many people over the years who work for different businesses, there is not another company that I would choose. In 1967, I started working at Ron Engineering. Arnon, the company, was not even a Timber in Zeb's eye at that time. And after only the first week, Zeb hired a bus to take the whole company to Expo 67 to visit the pavilions that Ron had built. Who wouldn't want to stay with the company? When you have a chance to speak to the staff, you will know that the Barrett family is well known for allowing its employees to grow to their potential and allows them to assume responsibility. In doing so, Arnon and Ron have maintained long-term and loyal employees who help the company grow and become successful. The average length of service of employees at this dinner is 15.5 years. It's a tribute to the Barrett family to be able to boast of this fact. I remember the first day working at Ron. The building was the size of where the existing lobby is, and the support staff worked out in the open, just inside the door. At the time, I had no idea who the owner was, except that it was Mr. Barrett. At some point through the day, this gentleman had walked over to my desk and spoke to me. I assumed correctly that he was welcoming me to the office, and I nodded and smiled pleasantly. This was the first of many conversations I didn't understand. Brave enough to explain to him that at times I had no idea what he was saying. Through the years, I sat in on many meetings in Zeb's office, and after the meeting was over, business associates would call and confirm what they believed he had said. He had this little trick that if he really wasn't ready to commit to them, he would speak faster and his accent would thicken. It's very seldom now that I don't understand it. But I remember on an occasion in Jerusalem, we were sitting in the lobby of the hotel discussing the afternoon meeting in the city treasurer's office. I started chuckling, and Mr. B asked why. So I told him that talking faster with a heavier accent didn't work in Israel. An older sister, and sometimes the business mom. succession of the business to the second generation is gratifying for me. There are many stories from over the years, but they're probably best left unsaid. However, I can tell you that I've always been able to keep control of Gilly, just by telling him that I knew a lot of people in Toronto when he was living there, and that I had stories. Gilly, I just want you to know that it wasn't true. I never did know any of those people. Arnie, what can I say? Arnie stayed in Ottawa, partied till he dropped. Oh yes, there were some legends. Then married and had kids, 6 kids. So there's no time for partying that bad. Ron has been pretty quiet about his personal life, but I think that formally we should announce that he's now married and is expecting identical twin boys in the near future. Wow. As most of you are aware, the last year for me has been a roller coaster, and I'm practically on a first name basis with most of the nurses at the regional cancer clinic. I've been very lucky in that I've been able to work up until now. However, we've been preparing for the transition for the last few months, and I think all is well. Lori will be taking over my duties, so if you have any problems, see her. Before leaving tonight, I wanted to tell you again just how much the big buzz meant to me. Within 2 weeks of being told of my cancer, Jim and Arnie had organized the event, and 15 volunteers stepped forward to have your head shaved. Not only did you raise over $4,700, a lot of you have reduced your hair expense because you now keep your heads. Yeah, that's right. Well, one of the volunteers was decided not to stay buzzed, but was the bravest of all. Please give a hand for Jennifer, the only female participant. I'm so glad that my family was able to come tonight, and in case you were not able to meet them before dinner, I'd like to introduce them to you. My mother, Lucille, my friend Sean and his girlfriend, Christy, my younger son, Jason, my sister, Alana, and his wife, Lee and Carol. I'd also like you to meet my closest friends who make up the rest of my extended family. Joe McCloskey, Margaret Nichols, Linda Box, Betty Green, Barbara Ford, and Barry Appel. These people especially have given me huge support over the past year. For all the hugs, the comfort, the drives to appointments, and especially for putting up with my crankiness, I thank them and all of you. One other thing I wanted to say before I leave you was that I had to adjust my speech tonight because Jason lives and works in BC and wasn't able to come. However, through the generosity of the Barretts, he was flown in as a surprise. I sincerely thank you. I want to work for such a wonderful company. Thanks. Missing the game tonight.
Okay. Well, that pretty well wraps up the evening, and on behalf of everybody here, we thank Judy for all the memories, and this is truly a celebration, as said before, and we look forward for you to come back in all of our events to enjoy the happiness and the future of our organization. So on behalf of the Barrett family, thank you very much for all that you've done.
Well, perfect evening.